Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, team. I hope you guys are having a good day. Just woke up. Well, technically I woke up maybe an hour ago or something. Mr. Siege! I'm gonna be doing a video afterwards anyways on the result. So you can do that. I mean, you can watch that. This live stream, we are just gonna do the calculations and everything. And just hang out. Cannibal first, thank you so much, man. Thomas, hello. Alright, so today we are gonna be doing some reformation cooking, specifically. I do have some ideas of what I'm gonna be doing as well. There are other stuff that I wanna calculate. But let's start off with the reformation. Give me a second. Yep, let me do this. Let me find some stuff. I have already calculated some stuff in regards of siege, like ring or plume, right? I did the calculation here, though I think this calculation is a little bit incomplete. I haven't considered the awaken section. Here, I think I was calculating the Margaret John. I think I was taking a look into the new commander's skill cycle. And here we are looking at Gaja-Gonzalo. And I was comparing the damage output of Ring and Plume. Initial result was, Ring was better than Plume. But I have a suspicion that Plume might become better than Ring when you have Plume awakened at least level 4. So you are doing plus 2% damage to field troops, right? And here you are getting 10% range normal or range skill damage. But if you take a look at the Ring is giving you rallied army and garrison damage. So it's not really, the perfect stat for each. And if we take a look into the Divine Might, it's like it deals 5% more normal damage and takes 5% less damage of all types, or deals 5% skill damage and takes 5% less skill damage of all types, right? So in my opinion, the Awaken 4 and 5 of Ring is doesn't suit the siege unit. It just doesn't suit. So if you have level 1 Ring and level 1 Plume, Ring is gonna give you more DPS, but once you have Awaken 4 or 5 Plume, I think it's gonna outperform the Ring. But I haven't confirmed this yet. Man, today we're gonna do some cooking, man. Which one best city skin if I run Liu Alex, Ragnar Scipio, Zuge Herman, Nevsky Arthur, Twilight 5 stat, or Saint Peter Basilica 10% infantry defense? I would run Twilight Pulse for 5% skill damage. The 10% defense skin is okay, but it's not the best. The 5% Twilight Fall skin is actually covering most of your marches, right? So you have 8 commanders running on open field. So if you put Twilight Falls, you have 4 marches, right? 4 marches equals 8 commanders, and only one of the commander, which is Liu Jie, is doing smite damage. So Liu Jie is not gonna benefit out of the Twilight Falls, and other 7 commander is benefiting from Twilight Falls. And if we take a look into the infantry skin, which I don't have that skin, but I do have this. Only 4 of your commanders are benefiting out of the 10% defense. Right, and defense is plenty of stat for infantry, so that's just my opinion. Yo, Smoke Turkey, what's up, man? Welcome. Alright, so how are we gonna do this? So I do have this calculation, siege rage engine. This is equipment calculation. This is gonna be a little bit tricky, man. This is going to be a little bit tricky. Let me copy this. And put here. Biotic says, I did an intensive gem material calculation and Alruk was surprisingly on top. Do you plan to do one day video mathing out all the event gems and materials? I do have plans, man. I do have plans. I just gotta collect all the information. If I'm not like, you know, doing the event and spending the gems myself, I can watch others and calculate or collect the average numbers, right? I can do that. I have a plan, man. But it's gonna take, I think it might take some time. We'll see. Yes. Yo, Yasin, what's up, man? Did you see the new Kingdom Rise of Kingdom of Death YouTube channel posted? Yes, I did. I did. Random Kingdom disband and everything. Yeah, I forgot today was April Fool's Day. Although for me, it's almost 2nd of April, so the April Fool's Day is almost over for me. Yo, GKX, what's up, man? Welcome back. You can find the probabilities on the internet. It took me 2 hours to math them all out. Okay, so all the information are out on the internet. I see. 10 seconds. Horn. One. Horn is proccing every 3.5 seconds on average. So in the first turn, where's my Lucia mathematics? Wait, I did actually, where's that horn plus ring? Was it here? No, it's not. Maybe in the Lucia math. Yeah, horn procs 100 times in 5 minutes 50 seconds. So horn on average procs once every 3.5 seconds. Let's take a look and calculate the sharpshooter first, shall we? Let me zoom in this a little bit so that you guys can see. Sharpshooter is kind of an interesting inscription as well. It also is consuming rage. So last video we did was on the destructive, which we have come to conclusion that this is so bad, most specifically on open field. Rally garrison situation might be different, but I feel like you gotta do the simulation for each individual pairing with destructive, right? But mostly this is bad, and the battle ready was also bad. Sharpshooter is also kinda similar, but it's not as bad as destructive. Destructive is paying 100 rage. For sharpshooter, you're only paying 50 rage, and you are gaining 5% boost. Destructive is like a 3.5% boost, right? I feel like, you know, I feel like the destructive should have been at least something like this. If there has to be like rage spending, right? At least to make the rage 50 and then boost the damage boost to 5%. That might yield a different result. Bilegt Siege player here. Until today I have a real doubt about comparison between full draw and tremor and loosed inscription, all from scroll armament. Could you consider these as well? Yeah man, today let's just cook some siege stuff. And see, Mr. Siege also wanted to see the comparison between ballistics and balanced as well. Oh no, not balanced, but metallic. Oh no, where's that? Yep. Yeah, no, not metallic, this Merciless, yep. The ballistics or Merciless. These two comparison is gonna be a little bit tricky, man. It's gonna be a little bit trickier for me to do this comparison. So this trickiest part is that this, you know, upon entering combat, you are gaining 30% attack for 10 seconds. So it's really hard for me to like calculate how many times you're entering combat per session, right? It's gonna depend. It's just a little bit weird, but we'll try to come up with something. But as for now, let's first do the sharpshooter. So you are saying full draw, tremor, and loosed. Loosed. While in V formation, whenever wielder's troop launches basic attack, it has 10% chance to deal extra range damage. Cooldown is 5 seconds. This is like you in order to find the average damage DPS increase, you just divide 200 by 15, and that's gonna be average damage factor per second that you're doing. So it's not that much, but we'll see. Full draw. Yeah, once we calculate the sharpshooter, we can take a look into full draw as well. 10% chance to consume 50 rage and 25% bonus range damage dealt for 2 seconds and 5-second cooldown. This is basically a ring, but half ring, right? You are paying half ring you are paying 50 rage to gain bonus of a half ring. Is this gonna be worth the 50 rage or not? Today we are gonna be finding that out. And Tremor. Active skill, it has 30% chance to deal an extra range damage to all target hit by the skill. Damage factor 100. Cooldown is 5 seconds. If this 5 seconds wasn't there, this proc chance is kind of similar to Horn, right? But because there's 5 seconds of cooldown, the average proc is this is going to be around 8 to 8.5 seconds. So you are doing 100 damage around 8 to 8.5 seconds. The DPS output of Tremor and Loosed is kind of similar. I feel like Tremor might have a higher DPS, just slightly, but this Tremor Loosed are very similar in DPS. So you are doing 200 damage in 15 seconds here, and you are doing 100 damage in 8 seconds, right? So if you like convert this into equal metrics, you are doing 200 damage factored in 16 seconds and 200 damage in 15 seconds. So with that, Loosed is a little bit higher in DPS. Wait a second, is this? Oh, this is active skill. Okay, active skill. I see, active skill. So we cannot really do this in once every 8.8 seconds because it says troop uses an active skill. So you are only using your active skill 2 times per turn, right? But this is basic attack. So you are, so long as you are attacking enemy, you are having the chance to proc this. But this one is only gonna have the chance to proc when you are casting your active skill. I would choose Loosed actually. I would actually choose Loosed. Well, which was the other one? Full draw. Okay. Let me note that down. Today we are gonna find the answer, my guys. We are going to find the answer. I'm noting the suggestions here. Give me a second. So, full draw, Tremor Loosed, and then sharpshooter we are doing. Also, Merciless. Was it Merciless? Yeah, Merciless versus ballistics. Alright, let me read the chat. I think Esmeralda Prayer, the wheel one, is actually better than the Dalruk for mats per gem spent, but you also need to buy bundles, I think. Cannot be only gems to reach the chest rewards complete. Biotic, thank you so much for the suggestion, man. I think you also commented on the video. Was this you? Someone also asked me to compare all the events. I haven't had the chance to collect the information, but we shall do that. my real interest is really the comparison between the best normal inscription and the blue inscription. The special inscription are so rare, so this brainstorming applies to like 1% or less players. Like comparing all like so I think we can do kind of like this. It's gonna take quite some time, but how about we do like a inscription tier list, right? Later on down the line, so that people can just click on the video and then click on the scrolls, and then I will have the list from the best inscription to the worst inscription, right? Everything I rank it based on the performance, but for that I have to like try and calculate everything, which is meticulous work, and I have to do that on all of the 4 types of armaments, right? Merciless is too situational to really be accurate. Plus, skill damage resistance shouldn't really be something. Not the best inscription in my opinion. So what we can do with Merciless is that we can kind of, come up with the comparison that, okay, how many times you go in and out of combat to surpass ballistics. Obviously, ballistics is going to be better than Merciless. If you are like not going out of combat, right? If you are not going out of combat, attack the entire time. So it's like on average the combat, you are only gaining these 30% bonus for 10 seconds, right? And then the rest of the combat you don't have any bonus. The skill damage resistance is also just mentioned Davor. By Davor, it's not gonna be that much useful because ranged unit is hitting from the range, is not really getting hit by any skill damage. And if you are getting caught as a siege player, you're already dead, right? When you are in a tower mode. So it's kind of like but it's really hard to stay in combat for the duration of the session as a siege player, right? You at some point you will go out of combat. The real question is, okay, at least when this is a 10-second happening, at least I wanna cast my skill damage within the buff here mentioned here, At least I want to do that. That way our skill damage is gonna have increased damage, right? But considering we already did some rage engine simulation on Gaja and Gonza, which is the best pairing right now. And if we can see here, I was trying to calculate the average horn proc. So horn is most likely gonna proc like 2 times. It's almost guaranteed. If we add 3 times, it's not happening. Let me do this here. So Gaja is casting his skill right here, and Gonza is 1 second after. So blah blah. No, Gonza is gonna be, yep, something like this. So according to the rage simulation, even if the horn is proccing 3 times in the first skill cycle, right? Which is there's a possibility, but 3 times is pushing the limits of the average horn proc. On average, 2 times is almost gonna be guaranteed, but I'm just talking about on average, right? At the end of the day, it is still RNG, but on average, horn procking 2 times is almost guaranteed. It's no way, because horn procs 1 time every 3.5 turns or / seconds, right? Which means in a 10-second window, let me divide this 3.5. Not multiply, divide. Yep, as you guys can see, it's 2.9. So it's not exactly procking like 3 times, but it is really close, right? We can safely assume that it's gonna proc 2 times. 3 times it's sometimes, most of the times yes, sometimes no. Bell, what's up, man? Welcome, welcome. Gaja-Gonzalo. In terms of loose, okay. Stephen Gonzalo, having his skill talent tree maxed out, you are doing more devs. Gaja-Gonzalo, I don't have Gaja-Gonzalo. Stephen. In terms of Merciless, yeah, I think Stephen having the skill talent tree and have a chance to proc the 100 rage, you know, the feral nature, right? Feral nature, we also did the simulation proc chance. Where's that? Feral nature was proccing once every 9.5 seconds. Was it here? No. No. In our drums calculation, yep, we did the simulation here. The feral nature was proccing 100 times in 50 minutes 33 seconds. So this means feral nature was proccing once every 9.3 or 9.2. So it's kind of like 9.5 seconds, right? Feral nature was proccing around this. So there's a very high chance that feral nature will proc for Stephen in the first skill cycle, making the skill cycle 9 seconds. Along with horns, right? As you guys can see, having crit horn doesn't make difference. It doesn't shave off 1 second. For Stephen, so for Stephen that is, for the first cast. So 9 seconds means the Merciless is only going to cover Stephen's skill. me go here. Where is Stephen? And Stephen is doing 800 damage. And then 200 damage. It's looking bad. Okay, so let us do this. Let's start from the sharpshooter, okay? We have so many stuff to calculate today, but let us start from sharpshooter and keep this going. Now let's go back to sharpshooter. Again, the proc chance is very similar to destructive, and also it's very similar to ring, which means we can safely assume that it's gonna proc once every around 14 to 15 seconds on average. So this means that sharpshooter again, this is we have to consider more skill cycles. So let's assume that sharpshooter is proccing once every 15 turns on average. 15 turns. Procs in the middle. Procs in the middle. Let's see. So okay, so sharpshooter procs here. In 3 skill cycles, sharpshooter is going to proc 2 times on average. Can we assume that? Yeah, every 3 skill cycles, we can assume that sharpshooter is proccing 2 times. And then we shall calculate the average DPS. We cannot really do 2 skill cycle because of sharpshooter, because the skill cycle itself is 10 seconds. So we want to have a number that can be divided by this 15 seconds. Otherwise, the DPS result is not gonna be correct. On destructive, we only did 2 skill cycles to calculate the DPS, because the skill cycle itself was 14 seconds, right? So it was dividable number. All right, let me read the chat. I'll be back, guys. Before that, grabbing some drink and also blow my nose. I'm back. Alright, let me read the chat. What's going on here? Stephen AO is in his expertise, by the way, yes. I tried Stephen plus Gonzalo on field, and the dynamics of the battle simply could not make him better than Margaret Gonzalo. 50% boost is good, though, and only 50 rage used way better than destructive, yes. So there might be a possibility that this 50 rage sacrifice or 5% boost might be better. Destructive is different, right? Destructive, you are sacrificing 100 rage. Okay. I want to recheck if I had calculated this correctly. So let's just keep it simple and do Gaja-Gonzalo calculation first. Total damage. Gonza is giving 45% boost. Bonus. Gaja is giving after his skill cast. Yeah, I think I did good job calculating the normal attack bonuses. So we are doing 200 damage factor, and then it's getting increased by 1.6%, which is Gonza 45%. Let me check out the talents. Where is the 15% is coming from? %3 more normal damage. Every 5 seconds we do have this 50% more range normal damage as well. Defense, these are attack, this normal damage, counter attack damage, nah. Okay, don't need to consider that. Be troop capacity, 9% defense. We're calculating the DPS, so no need to consider the defensive stats. Let's keep things simple. We gotta keep things simple to reach conclusion, otherwise we will never reach conclusion. Siege commander gain 2%, so we have to consider this forbearance for every 5 seconds. Our next ranged basic attack is dealing 50% more damage, and also we are gaining, where's that? 3% more normal damage. it is time for us to start collecting the normal damage. So we are gonna assume that they are expertise. So Gaja is giving us 25% normal damage bonus, 25% all time. Yes, yes, yes. 15% attack, we don't need to consider that. And also for the next 5 seconds, 10% more normal damage. Okay. Let me check out Gonza. Gonza is giving 15% ranged normal damage. But if the current target of the troop is not within the range, we are gaining another 20% ranged. This is ranged smite damage. So it's not gonna affect the normal damage bonus. %, normal. And then 20% smite damage. We gotta assume that we are fighting from the range, right? Power attack damage. Whenever their troop is hit with basic attack, it has 10% chance to gain 40% normal damage. So we are not gonna consider this. We're just gonna think as if we are not getting hit. We are pumping out the damage from the distance. Again, if we get hit while we're in turret mode, we're most likely dead, right? So this, we don't really need to consider that. Again, in order to do this kind of calculation, we have to eliminate all the, lesser impactful factors away and keep it simple. Otherwise, we will never reach the result, right? Whenever this troop is hit with basic attack, you are disarming and doing damage factor. Also not gonna consider this. Uh, 10% ranged smite damage bonus. So with combination with this, you are doing 30% ranged smite damage bonus, right? 30%. And you are just doing the big damage here. Which is halved because of we're in a range. 500 damage per second. Yeah, so it's gonna be 1200 damage, and Gaja reduced by 50% if not. So Gaja is 250 kill damage. Okay. Alright, we have collected the information, which is reduced by 50% while in the ranged mode. This goes the same as well. Let's do some adjustments. 24% damage of all time. This is 25% normal damage. Right? Yep. All right, let me read the chat. Sharbander, what's up, man? Welcome. Bilegt, you got the Gaja. You got that Gaja does damage over time minute active skill, right? You mean the 500 damage factor for 5 seconds, right? So we are doing 250 damage per second, and total damage is gonna be 1250. For Gonza, we are doing 1200 damage, but because we are hitting 3 targets, damage factor, but because we are hitting 3 targets, 1200, 0.7 plus 3. The total damage factor is this much. Let me put here. Give me a second. I might have calculated this previous stuff wrong. 200. 200. Boom. And then boom. Okay. Man, this is a mess. Let me fix this. It's so much mess. Per sec or per dash turn, right? Actually, let me do this. All right, now we are looking business, my guys. Now we are looking business. It's looking tidy enough. Okay, again, let me check out the talent. So let's try Gaja Primary. So Gaja Primary, let me see. Gaja Primary, we are getting 3% more range damage from the talent. Is there anything that I'm missing? I'm not gonna calculate the attack stats or health stats. I'm just gonna calculate the specific normal bonuses, because here we are comparing ourselves with ourselves, and most people are gonna have this talent, right? Every 5 seconds, next basic attack is 50% more. Okay, so let's go here. Talent. Three percent normal, and then also every 5 seconds 50% basic attack increase. Okay, now what is the total what is the total percentage of normal? 25. This is smite damage, right? Give me a second. Let me just double check. Let's double check the information that we are getting first. So 10% damage, and then with the expertise 20% more ranged smite damage. Okay. $25, $40, 43% normal bonus, right? 10% normal for 5 sec after casting skill, Gaja. And then we have smite damage, 30%, 30% plus, we have to consider this 43% as well, 43% total smite. Wait, Gaja is giving... Wait a second. Gaja is doing damage over time for 5 seconds and also range normal damage increased by 5 seconds. Okay, so we can just add this ranged normal damage. Okay, ranged normal damage. So in regards of smite damage, we can add everything. Because the 5 second is covering the damage of Gaja itself and also Gonzalo damage, right? So 43, 10, and then 30. That is 83% total smite damage. And then 50% basic attack increase every 5 seconds. Okay. All right, let me read the chat. The 0.7 is because of the double 15% reduction. Yes, it is. So, if you are hitting one target, this is gonna be 100%. If you are hitting 2 targets, it's gonna be 85%. And if you are hitting 3 targets, it's gonna be 70%. Every additional target, their damage is reduced by 15%. So 3 targets, it's gonna be, we're hitting 70% of the damage. And also we don't need to forget about the 50% reduction from the range, right? Okay. Now we know the stuff. We can do this. Our normal attack damage factor is going to be 1 point. Boom. Yeah. Let's copy everything here. And then let's include the 50% in the every 5 seconds. So this is gonna go to 93. Yes. How about we do this? There we go. And then also 10% normal for after 5 seconds. So here we are gonna be getting the 10% addition, so 53. Boom, 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 and then this one is gonna be 2.03. There you go. Okay, we have adjusted the basic attack damage. Let me wait a second. I gotta adjust here as well. Yes, okay. Now, let's take and adjust the skill damage. Skill damage or smite damage is simple, 83% addition. Very simple. 1.83. In terms of Gonza, okay, this first one is with Sharpshooter plus KK boost. We're only gonna compare Sharpshooter with KK boost. We have to consider the 40% boost that we get from the KKs as well, because it is kind of like a nerfing the boost impact. How many boosts do we have? I think we should just compare. Yeah, let's just compare the base Sharpshooter. Yes, that's correct. First, this is with KK boost, no Sharpshooter. Man, it's like, okay, so now this in order to calculate this 5% boost, right? In order to calculate this 5% boost, it's really easy. So we just gotta add all of the numbers here, and then we just increase that number by 5%, right? In this case, because there's a KK boost, it's gonna be 45%. And we can do that with the total amount. But in my destructive video, someone said that I have to consider this increase here, which it doesn't make difference, man. It does, in terms of calculation, it doesn't really make difference. So I'm going with my easier approach as well. Okay. Let me check out Sharpshooter. Whenever troop is launching basic attack, 10% chance to get minus 50 rage, and then increase the damage of that attack by 50%. Okay. So we are assuming that the Sharpshooter is proccing 2 times, right? On average, because we know the average. And we are just gonna assume that the Sharpshooter is gonna be proccing here. So because the Sharpshooter is proccing here, it is making our skill cycle 1 second longer. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. 30. We do have 32 turns here, right? Let me divide this by 3.5 because, and horn is gonna be proccing 9 times, and we do have horn proccing 9 times here. Okay, so I think this is the correct number. Yeah. So in 3 skill cycle, horn is gonna proc 9 times. That's for sure. Yeah, I was worried about this. Wait a second, how about we have crit horn? Bro, crit horn is making a difference. Okay, we gotta consider something, because if we have crit horn, okay, if we have crit horn, look at this. So crit horn is not gonna make that much difference here in the first skill cycle. But if we have crit horn in the second skill cycle, we are gaining additional 45 rage thanks to the crit horn, right? And this 50 rage payment is being covered by the crit horn. Look at this, it's still 10 seconds. So we have to look, okay, so there could be a possibility that, all right, sharpshooter is good, but you have to use it with crit horn. But this is just an assumption, okay? This is just the possibility. We have to confirm this with calculation. So we are finding some interesting stuff right here. It's very interesting, right? Look at this. You guys see? If we have crit horn, it is still 10 seconds. Gotta go, bro. Gotta finish some stuff here. I'll check your upload later. Alright, thanks, Rez. Thanks for stopping by. I dismantled my iconic 5 rally garrisons set crit. What do I do now? Man, did you accidentally do that? I don't know, man. That's very bad. I don't think VIP support can help with that, but at least you can try contacting them. Add all damage bonuses and apply multiplicative boosts on each turn. Yeah, so someone actually said it, but do I actually have to do that on each turn? It's weird. I can just do the total amount, right? So the it's just more work if I do that in each turn. Or I have to, I guess I shall do that, because people were getting like confused about it. So we are multiplying this with another 45% KUK boost and sharpshooter. So we are doing that. Let's round this up. Why people are saying that I gotta do that each turn? It doesn't make difference when I calculate the total amount and then just increase the damage, right? Because it's just multiplicative effect. Whoops. Okay. What is the total amount of skill damage? 10,000. Normal damage is 4,000. Okay. Okay. Alright. Total damage 3 skill cycle is, let's calculate the sum. Boom. DPS, damage per second, is divide this by 32. We have to consider crit horn as well. That's the thing. That is the thing. Heal damage. Oh no, wait a second. Okay, so we copy that there, and we don't have this. Now, instead of 45, we need to do 40. Ladies and gentlemen, we got our result. Initial result. Sharpshooter actually boosts your DPS by 5%. Let me actually do this. It's gonna be easier to understand here. Okay. So, having Sharpshooter, even though you are paying 50 rage, you are gaining 5.5% DPS. So Sharpshooter is worth it. But I have found very interesting stuff, guys. I have found very interesting stuff. Okay. I have found very, very interesting stuff. So, the second interesting stuff that I want to show you guys is that... Oh, wait. Ah, okay, so I was wrong, man. Give me a second. Wait. I made a mistake. So Sharpshooter is decreasing your damage by 1.1%, okay? Because you're paying 50 rage. I made a mistake. So you are doing close to 1400 DPS with Sharpshooter, but without Sharpshooter you are doing a little bit more DPS. Just because you are pumping that skill cycle, right? And your skill damage will make up close to 70% of your total damage. So you are still doing skill damage, a lot of skill damage as compared to normal damage. So this explains why the 50 rage is having this result. But what I found out here by calculating this, I have found something interesting. If you have crit horn, okay? If you have crit horn on Gaja-Gonzalo and you have Sharpshooter, okay? Crit horn. Bro, crit horn is gonna make that difference. Bro, crit horn is gonna destroy. Let me double check. Okay, this is that. Okay. So wow, this is very interesting, man. Crit horn is actually in combination with Sharpshooter. If you have Sharpshooter, you have to have crit horn. That is the stuff that we are coming up here. It's very interesting. Eeps is 30. All right, guys. So, man, this is very interesting. Okay, we have discovered something very, very interesting. So let me explain with the Sharpshooter. Okay, so in the first simulation, we are assuming that Horn is proccing around 3 times per skill cycle, which is very, very likely to happen, okay? With our previous simulations, this is very, very likely to happen. Just because, you know, siege units are generating rage slowest, right? Let me go to other, where's that? Give me a second. Maybe Arthur? No, not Arthur. Horn Ring. Luce. Destructive. So this is a simulation of skill talent tree. I think this is skill talent tree, and this is actually support talent tree, right? Skill talent tree, no horn. Yeah, no horn. This is give me a second. Where's drums? Yeah, so here we have simulated generic skill talent tree and generic support tree, right? We do gain extra 18 rage per second thanks to the Undying Fury and other talent with our basic attack, right? But siege unit doesn't have this 18%, which is why the first skill cycle is around 8 or 9 seconds. It can be 8 or 9 seconds, depending on feral nature procs or not, right? However, for siege, it's likely to be 10 seconds around. So siege is always gonna cast their skill slower than normal marches because there's no rage engine there. There's absolutely no rage engine. You are not gaining extra stuff, right? Let me go here. For example, we have this Burning Blood talent. You are gaining 9 extra rage per basic attack, and also you have Razor Sharp, which is Undying Fury for infantries. You are gaining another 8 rage per second. Total, you are gaining 18 rage per second. However, Siege Engine doesn't have that, right? So, because of that, there's very high likely that Horn is gonna proc 3 times within the first skill cycle. For skill talent tree or support talent tree, it's gonna proc 2 times, and third time it's like a 50-50, right? But here we can assume that Horn can proc 3 times. Very, very, very safe assumption here. And we're paying 50 rage here, but our damage... Yep, we are paying 50 rage and our normal damage is being increased by 50% twice here in these situations. So with 3 skill cycle, the sharpshooter is going to proc 2 times. And then this 3 skill cycle can continue on forever, right? We have to consider 3 skill cycle here. We just had to. And if we take a look here, the total damage is 44,000. And then our DPS is 1389. But if we do not have sharpshooter, we are not paying that 50 rage, and because of that, it is being, enough to save that 1 second in our skill cycle. As you guys can see, if we pay 50 rage, our skill cycle goes to 86. Yeah, our skill cycle goes to at 11 seconds, 11th turn, if we pay 50. But if we don't pay 50, we can cast our skill at 10. It's exactly 1010 rage. And if we calculate, the total damage is 42,000 because we are having shorter turn. And if we divide this damage by 30, because here we have turn of 30, but up above we have turn of 32, right? And if you consider the DPS, our DPS is actually dropping down with Sharpshooter, 1.1%. It's not much, but 1.1%. However, in this case, the crit horn is actually making so much difference with Sharpshooter, so much. So if this is also with Sharpshooter, right? So it's like exactly like that. But here in this case we have crit horn. Horn crit. Let me write here. So having the crit horn is actually covering the payment of 50 rage on our later turns, right? So we are keeping that 10-second skill casting cycle. So in this case, having Sharpshooter is going to increase your damage by 3.6%. Combination with crit horn. Crit horn doesn't work. In normal circumstances, crit horn doesn't work. Okay, so here we have this is without Sharpshooter, right? Without. This is without Sharpshooter. This is with Sharpshooter. In normal cases, crit horn doesn't make difference. Let me show you. If I replace this 50 rage here by 65, the turn is still 10. The turn is still 10 for crit horn. It doesn't make difference in normal circumstances. But if you use crit horn with combination of Sharpshooter, then the payment is being covered by the crit horn extra 45 rage, and you are keeping the 10-second turn, right? You guys get the idea, right? So if you are using Sharpshooter, you gotta have crit horn. If you have Sharpshooter and you do not have crit horn, then you should not use Sharpshooter because it's gonna decrease your DPS. This. Oh, wait a second. Oh, okay. Let me adjust this. Made an error there. Good eye, good eye. 51.3. I don't think it's gonna make difference. Yep. Oh, 0. Oh, it is making a difference. Hold on a second. Let me double check. Okay, hold on. Oh no, I did not. Wait, I did not make error. This is the talent. I did not make error. I gotta focus here. Blah blah blah. 1, 2, 3, blah blah blah. I did not make error here. Let me double check this. Oh, wait a second. I did not consider the wave formation. Increase damage of that attack by 50%, right? Yes, damage of that attack by 50%. So I'm considering this as well. Every 5 seconds, 50% more ranged normal damage. Next basic attack or ranged counter attack, right? I have to this has to increase by 50% more. Okay, give me a second. This has to go up even more as well. Okay. I made an error there, so I adjusted. Man, it's only 0.4% difference. So it is like sharpshooter. I guess you can use sharpshooter without like crit horn. I mean, your DPS does decrease by 0.4%, but it's like so minuscule, right? It's just so minuscule. I did not consider the 50% addition of sharpshooters the normal damage here. So I just adjusted that here as well. Wait, I have to adjust this. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I guess you can use sharpshooter. It's fine. Yeah, I guess you can use that. I guess you can use sharpshooter. It's not gonna make that much difference, but if you have crit horn, then sharpshooter starts to shine. Now you're correct, it's good. Yes. Okay, so yeah, sharpshooter, you can use it, but it's not much of an upgrade with normal horn. But if you have crit horn, sharpshooter is big upgrade. Very big upgrade. However, if we are not in KK, the impact of this 5% boost is gonna be a much. So probably sharpshooter is gonna outperform like better without the 40% boost. It's kind of having that diminishing return, right? We have to consider the KK boost. I used to make maths, so to make mistakes, I see them faster now. Yeah, it's good, man. I'm also starting to, do these calculations live, as you guys can notice. It's just making things easier, right? To spot mistakes and correct on the go. If I was doing alone, I would have to go over this over and over again, and then I'm not even gonna spot my own mistake. Do you think the result is gonna be different for skill talent tree or support talent tree commanders? Man, if we start calculating the like Margaret Gonzalo pairing or Stephen Gonzalo pairing, this stuff is gonna start getting out of hand, man. Idea for later: if you were to make a support siege purely to help allies, what would that look like? Who's W? Who's WW? Ah, William Wallace. William Wallace with Cordobo and using V formation. Are you saying with the Mighty Shield? When running 3 marches, would 2 drums act similar to 1 crit horn? 2 horns over. Two drums on 3 marches. I think it's 2 drums is gonna perform better than 1 crit horn. Let me check my calculation. So here we have the drums calculation. Let's see. 2 drums, 2 marches, right? $50 rage, so you are gaining 50 rage every 6 seconds. 50 divided by 6 is... Let me calculate that. Oh no. 8.3 rage per second. 2 drums, 3 marches. Rage per second. And if you have 1 crit horn, 65 rage divided by 3.5. Oh no, crit horn is better. Hold on, let me double check my math. So 2 drums on 3 marches. giving 50 rage every 6 seconds. 100 rage per 12 seconds. For each march. Oh no, wait a second. I gotta multiply this by 3. This is each individual march that we're talking about. So if we take a look into the total rage gained by drums, having 2 drums on 3 marches, you are gaining 25 rage per second on all 3 combined. This is a single march that we're talking about here. This is per march. Yeah, this is per march, so 300 rage per 2 seconds. 12 seconds. Yeah, 25. Yes. Okay, so we have the answer. Running 2 drums on 3 marches is gonna give you more rage rather than having 1 crit horn on one of the marches. This is the total amount of rage that we're talking about. So you are gaining, with crit horn, you are gaining 18.6 rage per second, but having 2 drums on 3 marches, total rage, you are gonna be gaining 25 rage per second. So having 2 drums is better than having single crit horn. Three horns plus 2 drums. So you're saying that I did answer and understand your question correctly, right? With the drums and horn. So you're asking, should I have 2 drums for my 3 marches on 1 crit horn on one of my 3 marches, right? 1 crit horn on one of the 3 marches, or 2 drums on 3 marches. 2 drums versus 1 crit horn. So this is the rage output. Oh man. Now, I think, is there a possibility that the sharpshooter is gonna be better for like Philip or Margaret? Thank you for doing this, sir. Not a problem, man, Marcus. I'm also trying to improve myself as well, which is why I'm doing this. So, we are being all team here. Together we are gonna become better players. Or like we're gonna become the gods of open field. I feel like Sharpshooter might have a different impact for Margaret and like for example Stephen. Because they already have a rage engine, maybe we can spare some rage for Sharpshooter, right? William Wallace. Oh, let me do some training. Do I have rune here? Nope. I don't see a training rune. Let's get the title. I think we should do Margaret Gonzalo and then Stephen Gonzalo pairing in terms of sharpshooter calculation. How many 50% boosts do I have? 23. I probably should buy this. Oh man, I want to get this. We don't really have a training rune. I want to get this gem. 2600 gem and also this relics. This gem is gonna translate into materials later on down the line. Doing this without training run, man. GG's. Tier 3 is more optimum. I used to train lower tier troops, but I just did not like the mess, you know, when I click troops and there's like many types of troops here, so I just did not like that. So I just decided to train tier 4s. And then convert them into tier 5s every now and then. Man, I thought I would keep my power under 85 million power, but I guess that's not gonna happen. I'm migrating soon, so if I keep my power under 85 million, I am gonna be saving some passports, but I guess that's not gonna happen, man. I'm gonna be migrating in like a week, I think. Okay, one more. There we go. I really wanted that. Yeah, we got this. Yeah, we got the gems. It's gonna translate into materials later on down the line. I already bought the VIP shop. Do I need, how many coins? 1.1. So I don't even have enough to unlock stuff. How many speeds did I just use? Like 6 days training speeds. Maybe 10. Not bad. I'll take that. Where are you going? I'm going to 3251. All right, everybody. I think I'm gonna be ending this stream now. I feel like, let me go here. I feel like we might need to do the calculation on Stephen and Margaret Gonzalo, and then Stephen Gonzalo, because Stephen has skill talent tree and Margaret has support talent tree, right? We have to have that representation here. Even though Gaja-Gonzalo is must use the march, but I think I gotta do that calculation. So I am gonna take a break, and I might do the calculation later on during the stream or off stream. We'll see. I'll take my time. Anyways, I am gonna be redirecting you guys to someone else. Let's see who else is streaming. Hey, we have Bottom Possible streaming, so I'm gonna redirect you to Bottom Possible. Yep. Alright, anyways guys, thank you guys so much for watching and all your support. And I'll catch you guys in the next live stream or in the next video. I say hello to Bottom Possible on behalf of me. And have a good day, man. Think about the support farm to help the server not the account. I'll think about it, man. Okay.